Hi there, my name's Glenn Hill from I Train Hard Health and Fitness, and today I'm just going to do a very small video blog talking about what I offer in terms of personal training for my clients and for people of County Durham, and how that may differ from other people. What I want to say first of all is I come from a background of health and fitness in the military, and for the last 3 years I've been working as a personal trainer in County Durham. And the last 2 years I've been shortlisted as Gym-Based Personal Trainer of the Year, and that's at the National Fitness Awards. So I want to first of all talk about why I try and offer as much as I can for my PT clients. So I believe you have to offer excellence, and that's why I've invested and spent a lot of money on my personal development to ensure my clients get more than anybody else. And by the end of this video you'll understand why or how I offer more than everybody else, but I believe I should offer much more than everybody else, and I believe my clients should have more than everybody else. And that's what I try and do. I try and offer a no stone unturned approach for health and fitness, try and improve my clients. If you may hear my little dog snoring in the background, if so, just try and ignore that. But my little dog Tara is just asleep just down here, so try and avoid that. So what I try and do from the start of any, even before I meet a PT client, I start thinking of if I can help them, how I can help them, and how they can help themselves. So initially I'll meet a potential PT client for an assessment, and I'll build rapport using NLP. Then I'll try and assess to make sure that that potential PT client has accepted responsibility for themselves. Now if they haven't accepted that responsibility or taken the blame for their own situation, size, whatever it is, if they haven't taken that on, as that responsibility on, then really I can't help them. They need to have accepted responsibility first before I can help them. From this point on, I'll try and have just a verbal behavioural contract saying how they should behave and how I should behave in terms of the personal training relationship, and then we'll decide if I can help them, because maybe I'm not the right person to help them, if I can't, where they should go, and if I can help them I'll try and advise them on the best package for them. Often the most expensive package isn't the right one for that client. They may need something different, so they may need the cheapest package, and that's what I'll always try and do. I'll always try and be transparent in everything that I do, and anyone that knows me, that's worked with me, will agree with that. Honesty is definitely the best policy in terms of PT. I don't try and keep PT clients forever, because that's not fair for them. I try and remove clients as fast as I can, so they've got what they can from me, and then they move on. Once I have, or if I have a new personal training client, that's when it starts getting good for them. I try and provide them with loads of information. The initial amount of correspondence they receive is breathtaking. I will email them a raft of information straight away. They receive a motivational ebook. This ebook is something that I've written over a couple of years, with about 20 years experience of motivation, coming from an army fitness background, the army para course, army diving course. Motivation that's been gleaned from being a coach in many different aspects, like skiing, snowboarding, mountain biking, kayaking, canoeing, rock climbing, all of these things, and personal training. So all of this motivational experience and top tips I've learned from other people is in that motivational ebook. They also receive an ebook on metabolism. So metabolism is the most important thing in terms of weight loss. That's basically how fast you burn calories. If your metabolism is slow, you're not burning enough calories, potentially you're overweight. If your metabolism is fast, then you'll be burning lots of calories and potentially not overweight. The key thing is we don't want to lose muscle. Losing muscle slows your metabolism right down. So this metabolism ebook explains metabolism and demystifies it a little bit. It also, I think, explains that diets don't work in the long term. Diets without exercise definitely don't work in the long term, and it explains why. It tells you why, and it's not just me saying that. That's a lot of proof coming from a lot of people, a lot of big studies. just because you go to a diet club and you might lose some weight for 6 months, in the long term it doesn't mean you're going to keep that weight off. More than likely, metabolism is slowed down by such a large amount, putting weight back on is inevitable. All my clients also receive a digital book, a recipe book called A Soldier's Recipe for Fitness, and that's a recipe book that I wrote about 4 years ago, and it's 30 healthy breakfast, lunch and dinners cooked in a healthy manner. And so straight away any new client can get that digital ebook, open it up on a digital device, go and get all the shopping and start eating or trying some of these healthy meals straight away. And it's all simple foods you can get in any supermarket. Another good thing that my clients all receive, and it's something that I built over a couple of years now, is my online fitness app. The fitness app works with all phones, so smartphones and iPads and such like. And the fitness app is for all my PT clients, and it has loads of workouts that I've built and put on there. Each workout has an explanation and video demos of every workout. There's also nutrition information on there. There's other, again, the e-books are all on there as well, and loads of videos on there just with advice. So videos on stress, videos how you can reduce stress, videos on how you get better sleep, because sleep is so important in terms of health. Sleep more, lose more weight. Sleep less, live a shorter amount of time. So there's videos on there on all of these subjects. There's even videos on there on how you get clean teeth or white teeth just using coconut oil. And coconut oil is something that you should have in your cupboards for healthy cooking and for keeping your cholesterol levels down. So the online app is brilliant. All of my clients get the online app. I also like to give them other gifts and other tips to help them with motivation. So every client will get one of these. This is the flip band. Flip bands are a goal setting band. So this is its white form. This is before the goal's been achieved. If I flip this over and you see the green side, that's after the goal's been achieved. So for an example, I'll give a client, or a client will give themselves a goal of doing half an hour exercise every day. Until that exercise is done, you can't flip it over. This is a visual and tactile kinesthetic anchor. Once you have it on, even though it's so simple, it's so powerful. You can't go to bed unless you've completed your goal for that day. Once you've flipped it for a couple of weeks, maybe 20 days onwards, then you've built a habit. So a really easy way of forming healthy habits. And because all exercise is, and eating healthily, all it is a habit, it makes building healthy fitness and nutrition habits really easy. So everyone gets a flip band. All my clients also receive t-shirts. So there's a bit of a backlog at the moment. I need to get some more ordered. But all of my clients get an I Train Hard t-shirt, which allows them to feel part of the tribe, feel part of the family, and to be included. I like having an inclusive training group. T-shirts always change. It's generally I Train Hard. T-shirts always change. The more events my clients do, the more t-shirts they get, and the longer my clients stay with me, the more t-shirts they get as well. So that's what a client receives even before they start training with me. So they receive an awful lot of information. They can just keep reading that stuff and looking at that stuff slowly and just taking a bit at a time for the first month or so of training. They haven't got to read it all in the first couple of days because there's a lot of information there to read. But that's just stuff they get straight away even before they start training with me. So now I'm going to go through my sessions. Session 1, all new clients will get a body map assessment. Now a body map is like an MOT for the body and the neurological system, the brain. And actually the brain is the most important thing in terms of exercise. And I found this out by attending loads of different courses. But if you put your brain in a safe place, then your body works more effectively. So in my session 1, where my clients get measured and get all of their measurements done, we also do a body map assessment. And it's as simple as making them breathe a certain way, moving the client's eyes a certain way, rubbing them clients that they can rub themselves a certain way, pulling the joints a certain way, maybe throwing a tennis ball around And these little neurological hacks will improve, I say about 95% of all of the new clients will have a vast, a massive improvement in their flexibility, function, power, speed, all their functions basically. So they get that from day one. If they have any obvious issue in terms of function and power, I look at that by manually testing the muscles and testing the nervous system through a certain method called a neuroskeletal screen, where you tap the head and move the arm a certain way. If they have an issue there, we can start fixing that and having homework to improve that weakness from the first session. And that'll go on until full mobility comes back. So from session 2 onwards, for the next 3 or 4 sessions are vital and very important in a new client's experience and their training with me. We need to look at a lot of things, so the mindset, nutrition, training, all them things. So for mindset, a lot of clients may have limiting belief. They may not believe they can train a certain way, they may not believe they can achieve weight loss, they may not believe they can eat well. So we look at mindset, and I use something called NLP, or Neuro-Linguistic Programming, and using this I try and tap into their subconscious and help them subconsciously to absolutely change their outlook in life and change their belief system, so they become more positive, they believe themselves better, and they're going to generally achieve much better results. If someone in their past is holding them back, maybe something happened to them when they were a child and it's affecting all their life onwards since then, we can even go back to that time in their life and maybe talk to that childlike self of themselves and change it back then. So the NLP mindset stuff is massively important, and it can help, it can drastically help some people, but not for everyone. So we'll see if that is needed for them. And we'll also look at the communication between the brain, the spine and the muscles, and we'll have a look at that, make sure everything's working properly. And this may take, for some people with long-term injuries, this may take months getting everything working properly again. And it could be fixed within a couple of days, so it all depends on the individual. For the nutrition now, I offer a free dietitian nutritionist resource, so all of my new clients, when they first sign up, can go and see a dietitian as part of their diet stuff for me. Wait. So yeah, they're going to have a dietitian resource. I'll help them train in terms of food. I've done a number of nutrition courses and read a load of books on nutrition as well. I'm a firm believer in what made us human will keep us human, and that's the basis of my nutrition plan and what I try and get my clients to eat. The chemicals in food these days are terrible. Most of the food that we eat, I believe, is poisoning us slowly. So I try and get my clients to eat as clean as possible and eating more of the soul food that our ancestors ate. Yeah, I also look at, obviously we started doing exercise potentially from session 1, and this next 2 to 4 or 5 sessions is just, I'm looking at a new client. So they'll be doing exercise straight away, but it'll be quite progressive. We'll start quite slowly, but eventually every single client, and I have clients that are 69-year-old downwards, every single client will be training very hard, hence I train hard. Every client will be training very hard at some point. And even if you think now you couldn't train hard, I guarantee at some point you'll be able to. Your body will just become conditioned through progression to harder and harder exercise, and eventually every client is training really effectively and really hard, and they get great results because of that. So looking forward, looking onwards, after the first 3 or 4 sessions, in fact we'll even touch on it in the first couple of sessions, but every client needs to have a goal. So a goal set, I'll use a standard goal setting other PTs use, but I'll also try and have events for my clients. So I believe if you have an event and you're booked on an event, then that's brilliant for your motivation. It helps motivate you get out of bed and do exercise. It helps you eat the right food, because once you are booked on an event, you don't want to turn up to that event being unprepared or underprepared. So it really helps with motivation going for events. And I organise a lot of events such as the Para 10 Mile Fitness Challenge, Who's the Fittest Fitness Challenge, Park Run Beast, Snowdon Challenge, Ben Nevis Challenge, Helvellyn Challenge, so lots of fitness and physical events. And my clients I'll even try and help organise other events that a client wants to do. So as long as the client's got some sort of event booked in, then it's going to make their training much easier. So I like to have events booked in for my clients, and I believe it works really well for them because they have a motivational goal to aim towards, and it helps with their motivation massively. And also, moving on, just use all the tools that I've talked about: the body map, applied movement neurology, neuroskeletal screens, NLP. I'll use all of them just to make sure that the client is always working at his or her optimum, and the brain is always in the right place at the right time. Lots of my clients need rehab, so I'll often be tying back into rehab, and if a client needs a sports massage, I will do a sports massage for the PT client. And nearly every PT client I've ever trained at some point has had some form of sports massage, because often they're sore, they're working out really hard, and often they'll have sorenesses and stiffnesses. So we'll look at some sports massage, and I'll use the other rehab techniques that I've talked about. So I just talked about a lot of stuff there, and a lot of it may sound complicated. I'm just going to, so I believe it's a complete, bespoke, no stone unturned approach at everyone's health. I believe it's more than anybody else. I don't think anybody else does what I do in this area anyway. And I'm just going to talk about, just quickly recap on why I believe it's different. So for the mind, all my clients' minds and mindset, I use NLP. Neuro-linguistic programming, it's used widely all over the place as a really powerful tool for changing someone's subconscious and even removing problem foods, getting rid of issues from the past. A brilliant tool for mindset. For my client's tummy, for their gut, for their belly, for nutrition, I'll give them my nutritional advice. I'll try and drip feed in nutritional advice rather than making drastic changes which people generally can't follow. And everyone's also entitled to a free dietitian resource, just one, with a qualified nutritionist. In terms of the brain, muscles, bone, so how the body works in terms of movement, I use a sports massage. I use body map, which is like an MOT for the brain, the neurology. I use applied movement neurology neuroskeletal screen, and that basically just makes sure the brain is communicating with the spine, and the spine is communicating with the muscles and the organs. And if it isn't, I can simply fix it by recalibrating, which is tapping the head and the heart, and maybe firing some muscles manually using a ventral horn calibration technique. So I use really clever stuff there for the mind, body and brain. In terms of passing on my knowledge to my clients, I believe I should educate them and give them as much knowledge as they want, and that's why I give them a raft of information from the start in terms of all the ebooks, and I'll keep drip feeding them information, so hopefully my client can leave me as soon as possible so they can move on and they're not tied into paying me money all the time. I like to make my clients a part of a tribe, and this isn't me trying to use new terminology here. I want my clients to be part of a tribe, part of the family. And to do that, that's why I organise lots of events for them. That's why they all get a t-shirt, they all get the motivational hack band, and they all get stuff to make them part of the I Train Hard tribe, so they feel part of that community, part of our family. Okay? Again, if they need rehab, I use body map, sports massage, applied movement neurology. So hopefully, from what I've been talking about there, you'll understand that I offer everything that you can imagine to ensure all of my clients get long-term, lasting results, to ensure that they become the best version of themselves. And that's why I believe I offer more than anybody else in this area, and why I believe I offer a no-stone, unturned approach at health and fitness. So if you like what I'm talking about, if you think this could be something that you're interested in, if you'd like a decent look at yourself, looking at all aspects, being able to fix most of them aspects quite quickly as well, please get in touch. Give me a text or phone call. My mobile number is on my website, so one of the websites, this one, itrainhard.co.uk. Another website is www.personaltrainerchesterleastreet.com. Another site is weightlosschesterleastreet.com. Check me out on Facebook, Glenn Hill, Twitter, Train Hard Hill. Good luck and get in touch.